The Colts are giving running back Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade.
Talking about these disagreements over his contract. Yet to participate in Colts preseason or training camp after suffering an injury.
The Jonathan Taylor Indianapolis Colts saga is about to come to an end, and as both sides have been pushed to their absolute limit, and it seems like Jonathan Taylor has played his final game in an Indianapolis Colts jersey. So before we get to the content, we're giving away tons of Madden 24 codes on my Instagram story at The Flight Mike, on my Snapchat story, Flight Mike Snap, and on Twitter at Mikerophone NFL. I got my Amazon account locked for 24 hours for buying so many codes, and I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm in Costa Rica right now, but I'll be back on Thursday, and then I'm going to be giving away a ton of them, I promise. Now that we get all that out of the way, break. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? All summer long, we've been discussing the turmoil that running backs in the NFL currently have with the rest of the NFL. I mean, if you look at the position right now, it's at an all-time low because the strategy for employing a running back successfully has been made abundantly clear. And I guess you could blame Todd Gurley for getting a huge contract and not living up to it, Le'Veon Bell for holding out an entire season for a large contract and then signing it and not living up to it, Ezekiel Elliott holding out in his third season in the NFL, getting a contract extension and quite literally not living up to it the moment that he was owed that money. And now it seems like the most intelligent way to employ a running back is clear. Draft a running back in the first round of the NFL draft, have him play under a rookie scale contract for 5 years, unless if you're the Raiders and you somehow it up with Josh Jacobs, which they did, because they didn't accept Josh Jacobs' 5th-year option and they declined it, opting to have him rush for his career high amount of rushing attempts last year. But in an ideal scenario, you employ that running back for 5 years. If he's still good, you franchise tag him for a year. If he's still good, you franchise tag him for 2 years. And then after 7 years, the likelihood of that running back being good are slim to none, unless if you have like an Adrian Peterson on your hands. And because of this, running backs are not getting paid as much as other positions are. Saquon Barkley got offered a 3-year, $36 million contract extension from the Giants. He turned it down because he wanted a 3-year, $45 million contract extension. And when he saw that he wasn't going to get that, he was fine with the 3-year, $36 million contract until the Giants said, hey, it's too late for that, and we're only going to sign you for a 1-year, $11 million deal. And the running backs across the board have been very frustrated about this, which resulted in them getting together in a Zoom call to complain about how little they get paid. Now, in the past, I've mentioned the take that I have on this situation is very similar to the take that Travis Etienne has here.
I really don't have a word in that, honestly. I feel like the market is what the market is, and for me to go out there and get the best deal for myself, I have to come out here and work hard each and every day. If I don't produce or be productive, I'm not going to even be in that conversation or anybody looking to pay me. So best thing I could do is just keep my head down and keep working and win games for my football team. But I feel like it also depends on the type of back you are. Because you definitely see some backs get paid, like Christian McCaffrey. For instance, he catches the ball at the backfield. So I feel like for running backs moving forward, you have to diversify your game. You have to just be more than just a downhill bruiser in order to be able to be on that level, in order to talk that leverage whenever you go into the conversations. We have to continue to grow and evolve our game. Because you see the way that football is going. You see it's a passing league now. And we just have to evolve as a whole.
Well, that being said, the true test of a running back's value in a very unique situation is none other than the situation that Jonathan Taylor finds himself in. You see, Jonathan Taylor hasn't been in the NFL for very long. He was drafted in the 2nd round of the NFL draft, which means his rookie scale contract is only 4 years and there's no 5th-year option for him. He had a very successful rookie year when he took over for an injured Marlon Mack. And then in his sophomore year, he had a MVP-like season, and then last year he was a bit more injury prone, but there isn't that much mileage on him, and despite being injury prone last year, he still averaged 4.5 yards per carry. He's also been the most vocal about the current state of the running back market, and this is where things got really freaking ugly. I mean, I must admit, Jim Irsay kind of screwed himself over in this situation when he tweeted out about the current state of the running back market. The NFL running back situation: we have negotiated a CBA that took years of of effort and hard work and compromise in good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith. Jonathan Taylor's agent Malky Kawa would clap back saying bad faith is not paying your best offensive player. Irsay tried to backpedal and said, hey, these comments weren't aimed at Jonathan Taylor, but the straw that broke the camel's back, and oh my god, I think this is by far the most Irsay-like thing I've ever seen, was on top of this. While this is all going down, Jim Irsay attempted to pay $20 million to transport a whale back into its original habitat. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a really noble cause, and I'm all for trying to preserve wildlife and whatnot. But the timing of the situation was very questionable, to say the least. And also RIP because the whale ended up dying. So brief moment of silence for the whale. Now, this would all result in Jim Irsay meeting with Jonathan Taylor in a bus during training camp, where he quite literally told Jonathan Taylor to his face,
"F off, we're not going to pay you that much."
Okay, maybe I mixed words there. So the meeting in the bus resulted in Jonathan Taylor demanding a trade. Jim Irsay would clap back at this saying, we're not trading Jonathan, end of discussion, not now and not in October. Well, it seems like Jim Irsay may have lied, because the Indianapolis Colts are now singing a completely different tune. You see, originally the Colts expected Jonathan Taylor to return to camp about a week ago, and it seems like Jonathan Taylor did nothing of the sort. So a lot of people are comparing this situation to what Le'Veon Bell did in his final season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there's a huge difference here. Le'Veon Bell did this following the 2017 season, and he missed the 2018 season. That would have been his age 26 season. Jonathan Taylor is doing this right before his age 24 season, giving him significantly more leverage. And well, it seems like the Indianapolis Colts are officially giving up, because according to Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, the Colts have given all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade. Other teams are now weighing whether to make an offer to the Colts and what would be fair value. Now, this is where running backs get really frustrated, because you might be wondering what fair value is for Jonathan Taylor. If you compare recent trades that went down, the Carolina Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2023 second, third, and fourth round pick and a 2024 fifth round pick. Now, if you go further back, the Eagles traded LaShawn McCoy to the Bills for Kiko Alonso, who at the time looked like a very, very promising player, but this is when Chip Kelly was going off the rails and was playing mad scientist, so he would trade LaShawn McCoy, which was perfect for his system, but then he would sign DeMarco Murray, who was not good for his system. The Cleveland Browns traded Trent Richardson to the Colts for a first round pick, but this was following his rookie season, before it was apparent that he was a draft bust, and prior to this he was a top 5 pick. And then if you want to go even further back, the Bengals traded Corey Dillon to the Patriots for a second round pick, and if you want to go even further back, the Saints traded Ricky Williams and a fourth round pick to the Miami Dolphins for 2 first round picks and a fourth round pick, but we're talking about 2002 here, and probably the most fitting scenario here, because it's practically an identical situation, ironically involves the Indianapolis Colts, who traded Marshall Faulk to the Rams for second and fifth round picks. Ironically, the result of that was a St. Louis Rams Super Bowl. So you would think Jim Irsay would have taken a note from that, but I guess not. So you might be wondering, okay, so what do the Colts want for Jonathan Taylor here? Well, according to Stephen Holder, the Colts are seeking a first round pick or a package of picks that equates to as much in a potential Jonathan Taylor trade. And this is what has pissed off a lot of running backs, mainly Austin Eckler, by the way, because on one hand, the running back position's not getting paid that much, but at the same time, teams are asking for first round picks in order to trade for some of these running backs. So that's what the defense is on the running back side. You might be wondering who's the most likely to try to trade for Jonathan Taylor. So far, the Miami Dolphins are expected to explore a trade for Indianapolis Colts running back Jonathan Taylor per FLA Sports Buzz. Other teams that can make sense for Jonathan Taylor would be the Washington Commanders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Denver Broncos, and then probably the 2 options that I am most interested in would probably be the Kansas City Chiefs, mainly because that offense is already scary. So could you imagine a backfield of Isaiah Pacheco and Jonathan Taylor, and how Andy Reid would use Jonathan Taylor? That would just be so electric. Easily Patrick Mahomes' best running back since he had Kareem Hunt in his prime. And the Buffalo Bills, who have been consistently looking for a good running back to pair with Josh Allen that would open up the offense for Josh Allen and allow him to utilize his skill set as a mobile QB. be. So let me know in the comment section down below, where do you think Jonathan Taylor is going to go? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.